French president is under fire in Europe for saying the truth out loud. On Saturday, French President Emmanuel Macron said that the West needs to consider Russia's demands to stop the war. In an interview, Macron said, "One of the essential points we must address, as President Vladimir Putin has always said, is the fear that NATO comes right up to its doors and the deployment of weapons that could threaten Russia." That is classic dressing down of NATO by Macron. Macron further said that they need to give guarantees to Russia so that it can return to negotiating table. The war is going on for 10 months now. It is costing European economies millions of dollars every day. Macron wants to stop the war right away, but some quarters in Europe are baffled at him for not supporting the war. The likes of Lithuania and Ukraine were quick to condemn Macron's statements. The advisor to Ukrainian president and former comedian Volodymyr Zelensky said in a tweet, "It will be possible only after the tribunal, the conviction of war authors and war criminals, imposition of large-scale reparations." Lithuanian foreign minister reacted to Macron's statements by saying that if anyone wants to create a new security architecture that allows a terrorist state to continue its methods of intimidation, they should think again. It will not fly. You see, France is well aware of the fact that NATO is deliberately fueling the war in Ukraine. NATO is already in the process of accepting Sweden and Finland as their permanent members, while it also wants to militarize the Gulf of Finland. NATO just concluded its 10-day military exercise in the Baltic Sea. And even if we keep this maneuver aside, US has been pouring in aid worth millions in Ukraine every month. This is exactly what Russia opposes and what kills the chances of having peace in Ukraine. Russia's demands are very clear. It wants to negotiate only if the West stops asking it to withdraw from Ukraine. Macron wants to concede this concession. Ukraine's sovereignty is not Macron's priority, but Europe is, France is. So he has now dropped a bombshell on Biden. By asking NATO to stop the war in Ukraine, Macron has exposed Biden's role in fueling it. After all, the ongoing ego war between Macron and Biden is not new. On numerous occasions, Macron has hit out at Biden for escalating the tensions in Europe. In October, Macron had publicly scolded Biden for saying that Europe was facing an impending nuclear disaster. Biden had then claimed that Putin was planning to launch nuclear strikes on Ukraine without evidence to back his statements. Macron simply blasted him for spreading fake news. On a recent visit to US, Macron took Biden by horns on the issue of the Inflation Reduction Act as well. A new $430 billion bill that offers massive subsidies for US-made products. The bill is designed to attract European companies towards the US at a time when the gas shortage is bulking larger in the EU nations. At a meeting on Wednesday with US lawmakers, Macron said the act was super aggressive toward European companies. Macron won't let Biden make millions at Europe's cost, so he is mincing no words in hammering down NATO and giving peace another chance. Macron's words might sound harsh to some people in Europe and US, but NATO urgently needs to wrap up its activities in Russia's neighbourhood to achieve peace in the region.
India's World, telling the right side of the story.